Welcome back to C.O.G Music. I thought I would do another little review video. This one on a different guitar that I bought to add to the Ibanez that I also own. This is a Breedlove Discovery S Concert in Ghost Burst. Really beautiful guitar, at least, that's what I was attracted to. First and foremost, when I came across it online. I'll get into different areas of this particular review. Number one, I'll get into talking about the features of the guitar itself, little critique of tone and sound quality of the guitar. I also definitely want to get into talking about the purchase experience I went through acquiring this guitar, some work that had to be done to the guitar, and overall impressions and recommendations that I could offer. Number one, as I said, aesthetically, it's an extremely attractive guitar. Some of the features of this particular guitar. It comes with a soft, what Breedlove calls a soft C-shaped neck. Fishman Precis 1. My apologies if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. It's probably precise. Breedlove's little take on spelling precise differently. P-R-E-S-Y-S is how they spell the name of, or Fishman spells the name of the electronic system. Electronics, very simple electronics. It does have a built-in tuner. It has a volume knob, a phase button, and a contour button. So it's a little bit different than treble and bass controls that, like the Ibanez electronics comes with. Your phase control is specifically to prevent feedback. It doesn't necessarily alter a whole lot of changing the tonal qualities of the guitar. That's done with the contour button, and it's a single button. And it gives a slightly fuller, richer sound, I want to say. But other than that, it's just the volume knob and the built-in tuner. The tuner display is very easy to read. It simply displays the note that's being played and arrows to indicate sharp or flat. Two green arrows on both sides of the letter designation indicate that it's in tune. And let's get more into the listing of some of these features. I talked about the electronics. It's got a Voncol fingerboard and bridge. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. It has closed tuners as opposed to, again, my Ibanez acoustic has open tuners. 20 frets. I believe that's the same as the Ibanez. It has a nut width of 1.687 and 5/1000. 1 inch, 0.6875. It's a little bit wider, very slightly wider than the Ibanez has. It has a scale length of 25.5 inches. Now, the Ibanez has 25, so it's a slightly longer scale length. It's got a gloss body, front, sides, and back. It has a satin finish on the neck and on the headstock. I do much prefer a, you know, a smooth finish, obviously, on the back of the neck. Much easier to slide your hand up and down rather than sticking to a nice glossy finish, which I don't like. Whether it's a natural wood finish or a satin flat type of finish that aids in the movability of your hand up and down the neck and fretboard. I do like it, and overall just the appearance of it, it's a nice contrast between the flat headstock and the gloss body. That appeals to me as well. It is made in China. Now, my past experience with Breedlove, I have owned one other Breedlove guitar, but it was very basic. I believe it was, at the time that I bought it, what they considered a travel guitar, smaller scale, smaller in size, no electronics whatsoever. But it was something that I bought specifically to keep in my car. This is going back many years to my second go around of playing guitar, and wanted something very durable, very basic, that I could not lug in and out, back and forth from in my house out to my car. I was constantly practicing and playing on my breaks at work, trying to utilize any free time I had to practice, and wanted something that would stand up to just being put in a gig bag and kept in the back seat of my car. That Breedlove was awesome at doing that. It was very durable, stayed in tune very, very well. Drastic temperature changes, like I said, I was not taking the guitar back and forth from my car into my house and back out. It stayed in my car. And I'm in a Midwest climate that has very hot and humid summers and very cold winters, and it just held up great. And that played a big decision in my decision to buy another Breedlove guitar. This is not going to fit the bill as far as that goes. It's not something I'm going to be keeping in my car, but nevertheless, I've had good experience in the past with Breedlove. The other thing about this burst finish is it really does let the wood grain come through. And yet offer distinct coloring to the guitar. Like I said, they call this particular shade, this gray that fades into black, Ghost Burst. It's also available in what is called a Denim Burst, which is a blue that fades into black. But the gray into the black really aesthetically appealed to me. It's got the typical Breedlove bridge, which does not include pins. The strings actually feed through the bottom of the bridge on an angle up to the saddle and over the saddle and onward up to the tuners. I've never had any issues, again, with that previous Breedlove, which had, this is pretty, as far as I know, specific, without using bridge pins to hold down the backside of the strings to Breedlove guitars, but never had a problem with this setup. The playability is got a great sound, great tone, all the way through the range from the highs to the mids to the lows. I love the sound of this particular guitar. It is distinctly different than the $239 Ibanez that I have. It should be. It costs more. Um, it comes with European spruce top. That's the wood that's used for the top of the body. The sides and the back are made of African mahogany. And the quality of the wood and the translation into the tones that are available from this particular guitar, just are much deeper and richer, in my opinion, than the Ibanez. But I expect that based on the cost difference. Now, I'm going to get into that eventually in the video. But I did also definitely want to talk about my experience purchasing this particular guitar. Now, I've only come across this particular guitar in this particular color anyway, the Denim Burst and this Ghost Burst only being available through a particular retailer, Guitar Center or Musician's Friend. Now, at the time that I bought the guitar, it was just before this past Christmas. And it was on sale for $399. Now, that seemed to be a fantastic price for the quality of what I've always understood and experienced with Breedlove guitars. And thought I would take the opportunity to purchase one. It's one of the big catch-22s with buying any guitar online. If for some reason you're not happy with it, really think a lot about whether it's worth returning the guitar, because the next guitar that comes, even though it's the exact same model, could be completely different, and it could much more problematic than the guitar you returned. What is the guitar selling for now? Well, their non-sale price is $629, but I'm going to get more into some of the issues that I've had with this particular guitar. Is this a $629 guitar? $399 is a good price for this guitar. $629 is, I don't know, that's pretty expensive. So, unfortunately, like I said, in this particular finish and color, I'm assuming there's been an exclusive deal worked out between Breedlove and Guitar Center / Musician's Friend. They're the same thing. But it seems like the only place you can get this guitar in this color is from there. But I did end up doing a couple of things to the guitar after keeping it, been playing it for quite a while. I would say I still do the majority of my playing on my Ibanez, but try to work in at least a couple of practice days during the week using the Breedlove. But it did get to the point where I wanted to change the strings and check the truss rod situation. And one of the reasons I wanted to do that was, if you go on Guitar Center's website, there are 6 reviews posted for this particular guitar. Now, it's a little bit confusing because out of those 6 reviews, 2 of them give this guitar 5 stars. The other 4 reviews give it 4 stars. So it's a very, very highly rated guitar. But as you read the reviews, every single review mentions the guitar needing a truss rod adjustment. Some reviews mention other issues. One of the reviews mentions that the person who bought the guitar had to put a shim underneath the saddle. Another review said that the bridge is held down with a threaded stud and a nut, which is accessible from the inside of the guitar, and that the nut was loose and needed to be tightened down. And these are these are reviews that the people ultimately gave the guitar 4 stars. And I'm like, really? You had to do that to the guitar? I'm like, your guitar must really sound unbelievable to have to go through doing these things and yet give the positive review that you gave. But because every single review mentioned having to do a truss rod adjustment, I decided that I would be checking that along with chaining the strings. There are great YouTube videos on string changing and truss rod adjustments. So I'm not going to get into that. But the truss rod adjustment check that I did with a capo at the 1st fret, pressing down on the low E string on the 14th fret where the neck meets the body of the guitar, and checking with a feeler gauge between the bottom of the string and the top of the 6th fret, it was extremely low, and had to do a truss rod adjustment. And upon doing it, I do like the way that it plays, much better than when I first received it. I used Diodario XT strings, light gauge, 12 thousandths high E string to restring the guitar. It does have a much brighter sound to it. But nicks in the headstock along this edge here, and because it's flat black, I touched it up with a black Sharpie, and it actually worked very well. But again, is that something I would expect to have to do to a $629 guitar? Absolutely not. I was surprised at how much I had to adjust the truss rod to get it, the string height over the 6th fret to be at the proper height. If I were to go in and do a review on Guitar Center's website on this guitar, I certainly wouldn't give it 4 or 5 stars. It is what it is, and I've definitely done a lot of thinking about if I were to return this guitar, what would come in its place. And that's one of those things that, my goodness, if you have a small mom and pop instrument shop close by where you live, and you can go in there, you will get a wealth of information and be able to play things and feel things and experience things the way that is just impossible to do online. So really think and rethink returning something, and you just never know what you're going to get and what the replacement is going to be like. In summary, I would say that really, if you're going to go for this particular Breedlove Discovery S in this Ghost Burst or the Denim Burst I spoke of, you better budget in, I would say, and if you're not comfortable with setting up a guitar yourself, the cost of having it set up it seems like based on the other reviews and my experience, that there's a good chance that that's going to happen when you receive the guitar. Um, as far as the consistency of what I've read and the guitar needing a truss rod adjustment, and mine did not need a minor one, in my opinion. Um, so factor that in. If this is a particular color you really want, there are other places that offer the Breedlove Discovery S in other tones, colors, natural, and other burst type, more natural wood type burst combinations. I would keep that in mind because there are other places that do a pretty good job of setting up the guitar before they put it on sale. So that might be another way you want to go. Overall, the guitar is beautiful. It sounds great. The binding is beautiful. I do like the overall sound and aesthetics of the guitar tremendously.